Today's podcast is with Cynthia Payne, who is the director of the Mind Connections Foundation. Thanks for your time, Cynthia. I know you wear a few hats. What do you do, aside from being a board member, to keep yourself busy?
Got a few things under my belt. So first thing, as you mentioned, director of the Mind Connections Foundation. We're a local not-for-profit that focuses on mental health in the Hills District. Day job, I have my own consulting practice, which I started in 2018. Today we're a team of 22, by chance fully female professional services firm, and we work around Australia with aged care providers and residential, home care, retirement living, and also in the NDIS. So I also am on the board of a listed entity, PainCheck, which is a global medical tech organisation. And finally, I'm a board advisor to a privately held construction company called Total Construction. And I have 4 children. So
Many different boards.
Yeah.
Obviously, 4 kids will keep you occupied no matter what.
yeah.
So tell me about Mind Connections Foundation and how your involvement started with that.
So Padmini Halpage is the chair, and she started the foundation back in 2020. And another colleague, Sonia Parlick, who's been very involved in the local Hills District, reached out and we had a meeting about what the purpose of the Mind Connections Foundation is. And I related to its purpose. And I think as a mum of 4 and also having had, I guess, in my own life early when I had my first child, I suffered some postnatal depression. So I have a personal connection to the importance of understanding mental health. Now, bring in my professional career working in aged care. There's a lot of stress and fatigue in the sector, especially since COVID. There's been a lot of pressure on people. So one of the programs we run is providing free mental health first aid training, which is the Connect to Life program. And that's bringing free first aid mental health training to the Hills District. So we've now completed, I think there's about 100 people that have actually received that free training. So for me, it's about giving back to the sector, giving back to the Hills District. I'm a local person as well, and really making a difference when it comes to mental health.
So mental health first aid training, that's very unique. What is involved in that sort of training?
Well, it's a 2-day program. It's actually facilitated by someone who's actually accredited to run that program. And it equips you with the awareness and understanding so that if someone is in, let's say, a degree of distress, that you're actually equipped to be able to support them, direct them in the access to extra resources, and you can actually be a support person to them during that initial first aid component. So if you think about first aid certificates, you're kind of the first person that's providing some assistance. It's a similar kind of concept, but we're actually coming at it from a mental health first aid perspective. So our goal is to see many, many more businesses, particularly in the Hills District, having people who are actually mental health first aid trained. And so we focus on aged care sector, we're focusing in on the business sector within the Hills District. And finally, we're looking at people who are carers. So someone who might be supporting someone who's actually grappling with a mental health issue, and that really puts them in a stronger position to be able to be that great support person.
So it sounds like there's a lot of components that come together and a lot of overlap, particularly between the aged care industry and the mental health industry. And we know that pet therapy is one of those overlaps. Can you walk us through the connections there?
Well, I think anything that can help people to feel safe and also being able to relate to others in the community. So if we kind of go to the Pawsitive event, what I love about this is it's actually bringing community, using pet therapy and also the connection with your own pet as a way to break down the stigma, come out, learn more about what's actually happening for mental health. Maybe it's even just exploring for yourself, connecting with community. And the more that we, I guess, build awareness, we can help people to recognise if they are in a state of distress, that they know how to reach out and actually get help. I think that's probably the heart of it for me, is the recognition that we would hate to imagine that there are people out there that are suffering in silence. As we know, there are some significant statistics that affect mental health. Suicide is preventable. We don't want to see anybody in a situation where they don't feel like they can actually reach out for help. So I think there's a real human element, I think, Susie, to being able to be there through community, supporting people. Practical things like first aid training just really just helps everybody. Then we have the events like the Pawsitive event, which gets people out, engaging, awareness, some playfulness, some humour, bring your pet along. And at the same time, it's all about awareness raising. So I think anything we can do, if we just help one person, then our work is really, really worth it.
It's fantastic. Well spoken. Now, with all your experience and all your knowledge across so many different industries and being on a lot of boards as well, how do you think this event, the Pawsitive Steps Festival, how do you think this will impact the Australian community overall?
Well, I think, again, it's about getting those individuals, businesses. We're supported by council as well. So we're very fortunate. There's a lot of goodwill behind the work of the Mind Connections Foundation. So we really want to leverage that to be able to, again, take that message out wider, and supporting this real groundswell of community as well as connection. So I think if we unpack a little bit about the stigma, we're trying to break down the stigma associated with mental health and supporting people to just get some more toolkits under their belt so that they know how to reach out and get help.
Being the director of the board for Mind Connections Foundation, where is the future headed for this particular foundation in terms of the reach, the support it gives, and overall the community benefit?
So we've got a few things, Susie, that we do. So Pawsitive event is one. It's a big event in the calendar. We run at least 3 free mental health first aid training. So we do that in partnership with Hills Council. They provide us the facilities, and we'll have at least probably 40 people that will be equipped with that mental health first aid training. One of the sectors we're focused in on is business, and one of those other hats I wear is in the construction market. Construction has a long awareness of the importance of mental health support. So we've also got legal focus as well as other business. We also provide a annual women's retreat. And this is a really important program, particularly for women who are vulnerable or susceptible to not only mental health, but there could be elements of vulnerability, domestic violence. So we're very sensitive as to how we talk specifically about the women's retreat. It's also a place for women in the local community to connect with other women. And that's a weekend retreat where the women come together, they're supported by a practitioner who can really support their journey to self-care. So really important for that women's focus. Later in the year, we also run a barbecue just for men. So as part of recognising that men's mental health. So we've got female-focused programs. We also want to have male-focused programs. So we've got one of our other directors, Jag, brings together with another director, Odette. We're all working board members. There's no glamour here of being on a not-for-profit. You're working hard, in terms of how you're engaging with community. And that is about, again, bringing community together for men so that they can hear and learn a little bit more about mental health, but at the same time, it actually creates a real sort of around a barbecue an opportunity just to connect and engage again.
So barbecue and beer definitely to attract the men. That sounds
absolutely. And it was well attended because obviously, it really, we're very fortunate, like even in this Norwest Business Park. So Malfa is an organisation that's very known to a lot of people in the local community. They've allowed us to use some of their space. So I just am always heartened as to how much generosity there actually is. And as we keep touching this awareness and knowledge, we're breaking down some of those barriers and we're really supporting people too.
Sounds like a fabulous festival, getting the community together. How can people get involved if they want to be involved?
Well, we've got ways for sponsorship. You can actually have a stall available during the day. You can bring your pet and your family and you can interact. There's lots of fun things going on for families and for children. So there's lots going on throughout the whole day. So lots of things to do. We're very pleased that it's being held at Rouse Hill. So again, GPT have been an amazing organisation supporting the Mind Connections Foundation. So we've got a whole day set of a whole lot of fun things to do. So, put it in your calendar. It's coming up on the 27th of April, and there's lots of things to do, even if you come for an hour or you can spend half a day.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. We are looking forward to the Pawsitive Steps Festival, and if you would like to join in the fun, it is on April 27th. It's a Saturday at Rouse Hill Town Centre.